Hello, and welcome to World Leaders List. This is week 12, and we are looking at numbers 34, 35, and 36. Let me get the layer off. We are looking at China's leader, Xi Jinping, North Korea, Kim Jong-un, and number 36, South Korea, Moon Jae-in. And we are studying this part of the world in our, I believe it's 48 and 49. We're looking at New Asia. So I thought we would look at some world leaders. Okay, let's go ahead and just so that you know where these leaders are from. First one is China, and you can see it right here. The second is going to be North Korea and South Korea, and you can tell that they're all very, very close together. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. First one is Xi Jinping. He is the president of China, and they served for 5 years, and what we would consider their parliament is the one that actually votes them in, but it's unlimited. So they can serve as long as needed. No time, there's no term limit. And he has been the president of China since 2013. All right, what's really interesting about him is he was born in Beijing in 1953. His father was like a right-hand man of Mao Zedong, and he was actually kind of kicked out of the political group, and his father was sent to live in the countryside and kind of work on a farm as punishment. And so when he was there, his father, Xi Jinping's father, actually, they lived in a cave for a little while because he was trying to get back in and organize some communist uprising and that sort of thing. And there's a picture. That's the president now. That's Xi and his dad and his little brother. Okay, let's see. It took him a long time to get back into the Communist Party because his father had been dismissed from it. So he tried 10 times, if you read about his life. There was a disappearance right before he took power. This is really strange. He disappeared from official media coverage for several weeks. They said it was because he was getting ready for the big change. But some other people, some reports have said maybe there was some violence at a rally, or he was hurt, or something happened. So there's like a mystery there. Okay. China has really loosened its grip a lot since the Mao Zedong days. He is actually, I also read that there's also some political cartoons about him. He's quite a presence in China. They like his personality and that sort of thing. So that's really interesting. Let's see. Let's look at some pictures of him so that if you see him on television that you would know him. All right, here's some pictures. Let's get some up-close personal pictures. He's been in the news quite a bit lately. He's the first Chinese president to be born after World War II. They say he's as powerful as the president that was right after Mao Zedong, or as powerful as Mao Zedong, because he does have a lot of power, a lot of clout, and he has a personality and a following. Okay, so the next person we're going to look at is Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un is the second son. His father was the dictator previously. There's no real elections. They're fake. He is a dictator. It's hereditary. But something so interesting happened. His father was Kim Jong-il. So Kim Jong-il had an older son, and he was supposed to be next in line for the throne. And then it's Kim Jong-un, and then it's his sister. So what happened is the older brother fell out of favor with the father, and he was no longer next in line for power. And you want to know why? It was because he went to Disney World in Tokyo on a fake passport and tried to go to Disneyland in Tokyo. And because of that, his father was very angry with him for trying to sneak out of the country to go to Disneyland, Disney World in Tokyo. Absolutely insane. Wow. Poor guy. So it says that people who knew Kim Jong-un, he has 2 different degrees, one in physics, one in military college degrees. And it looked like he was schooled a little bit. He went to school a little bit in Switzerland, in North Korea. And it says that everyone that knew him says he loves basketball, he was shy, and he was very much into Michael Jordan. And I don't know if you know, but he and Dennis Rodman are actually friends. Dennis Rodman has gone and visited him. Okay. They say he's diabetic, he smokes, talks about his health. That sort of thing. I just thought the Disney World thing was just off the charts. Nuclear weapons, we know he's had some issues with nuclear weapons and breaking some UN laws. And the United Nations has enacted a series of sanctions against North Korea for breaking these. Human rights violations, there's been so many. Supposedly there was a CIA assassination attempt. It's not really confirmed. There was also, he has had purges and executions. When you say purges and executions and it's a dictator, it's people who don't disagree with him. Several family members, nephews, all over the place. Just people in his family. They do think that maybe one of his brothers, uncles, all kinds were executed by him for disagreeing with him. Talk a little bit about his personality. He loves basketball and computer games. Again, he met Dennis Rodman in 2010. All right. They say he's the 46th most powerful man, Forbes magazine says that, in the world right now. Okay, now we're going to move on to the president of South Korea. His name is Moon Jae-in. And there he is. Oh, we needed some pictures of Kim Jong-un, didn't we? Sorry, we're going to go back to North Korea. All right. What we can do here. He's actually smiling in that one. Don't always find him. Yeah. Okay. So. Oh, I'm not doing so good with the pictures. Oh, here's a big smile. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go ahead to Moon Jae-in. Moon Jae-in ran against Park Geun-hye. She was the first woman president of South Korea, and she was in trouble for fraud and arrested, and she was impeached. So he actually ran against her and lost, and then he won when she was impeached. He was elected. So they've already had a woman president and didn't go very well for them, so I'm sure that's going to be an issue. And they only serve 1 5-year term, just one. Okay, and he just came into power. All right, let's take a look at his life. He was a student activist, a human rights lawyer. All right, early life and education. Right. He is a human rights attorney. Human rights is very important to him the more you read about him. He met his wife when he was doing some different human rights protests. He loves dogs. I thought that was really interesting. He has 2 dogs, and he's really into adopting animals and taking care of them, pets, family, religion. He is Roman Catholic. All right. His Christian name is Timothy. Very interesting. His nickname is the Dark King, which is crazy. After the character in Silver's Raleigh from the Japanese Magna series One Piece. So he even has a nickname. You know, it's funny because we think that, oh, you know, other countries don't have nicknames and or cartoons or comics, and they actually do. So it's pretty interesting. Okay, so that's our 3 world leaders for this week, and very interesting. And just one for the road. If your father is a communist dictator and you're not allowed to go to Disney World, you need to wait till he dies. Because then you'll be demoted and you will not be able to rule the country if you go to Disney World in Tokyo on a fake visa. Poor guy. I feel really bad for him. Okay. Have a great night.